we're going to explore the planets. And our sun orbit other stars called exoplanets. They found thousands of them, probably a whole lot more, maybe even millions or billions. Exoplanets. It's not easy. Astronomers measure subtle shifts in a star's movement, which could be caused by the tug of a planet's gravity. They got other instruments. Some even been captured in telescopic images. Here's a planet-finding astrophysicist. Mercury, then Venus, then Earth, then Mars. And then you come out here, you eventually get to Jupiter, and then Saturn, and then Uranus, and then Neptune is the Kuiper belt, and then Pluto, which may or may not be a planet. Asteroid belt, over a million rocky bodies called asteroids lie between Jupiter and Mars. They range from less than 33 feet to over 600 miles. Some even have their own moon. Jupiter's gravity may have prevented them from getting together and forming a planet. Space is not just space, there's all sorts of material out there. In 1962, Mariner 2 became the first spacecraft to travel to another planet. It flew towards Venus. 2004, Spirit and Opportunity were the first rovers to land on Mars. Corewell Technology built image sensors for them.
JPL was our Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Cool.
And then one here. We built 4 chips altogether.
These chips were at the top of the boom for close and distance photos. One additional chip was located at the drill bit on the bottom. They were expected to last about 90 days, but Spirit lasted 6 years and Opportunity lasted 14, although the USSR and China had also landed spacecraft on Mars. These were the first rovers. Rovers, usually wheeled, have been sent to explore the surface of other planets and moons to collect data. Landed on Mars in 2012. 2021 Perseverance rover. Looks like the Curiosity model, but it has stronger wheels and new instruments and collect rock samples for return to Earth sometime. Is bigger than 11 Earths. And there's a great red spot, gigantic storm that's been observed for over 3 centuries, 10,000 miles across. One day is only 17 hours for years to make an orbit around the sun. 2004, NASA's Stardust probe flew through the tail of a comet, collected some dust, and brought it back. Triton, large unusual moon, it orbits Neptune in the opposite direction from most other moons. It even has geysers that release nitrogen. Its icy surface seems to be pretty young. And this one was probably in the Kuiper belt and got captured by Neptune's gravity. Voyager 2 interstellar mission, 1989. It flew past Neptune and kept going out and out and out. Man found Pluto in 1930, working at the Lowell Observatory. He loved astronomy, examined differences in thousands of photos, and then he managed to figure Pluto. Whether it's a planet or not, the jury's still out. This shows how the Earth has changed. That's how it looked 200 million years ago, and then 140 million years ago, and then 70 million years ago. And here's how it looks today. Average case. But it'll keep moving. Venus with 3D modeling to reveal active volcanoes. Pretty hot on Venus. It's pretty close to the sun. Is when internal forces reshape worlds. Here's an example of 2 butting up against each other. What happens is volcanoes erupt. Volcanoes on the moon, which only has a few volcanoes, They're not made from very fluid lava like most volcanoes. They're made from a stickier type that builds up into tall mounds in the low ground. We have a lunar rover. Battery-powered dune buggy like this one was stored folded up in the descent stage of the lunar modules. Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here. Apollo 13. The fuel element for the nuclear generator got stuck partway out of its cast, and they resorted to using a hammer, and they fixed it. You ever come to the moon without a hammer, they said. Returned to the moon with the launch of Clementine in 1994. Then it kept going. The Mercury Redstone, 83 feet tall. This is a Mercury Atlas, 95 feet tall. Then we go to the Gemini Titan II, 108 feet tall. Oh, here's the Saturn 18, 225 feet tall. Saturn 5, 363 feet tall. 1961, Yuri Gagarin, a Russian, made one orbit around the Earth in a mission that lasted 108 minutes. 1961, President John Kennedy decided to send Americans to the moon. The Cold War was his primary motivation. He'd only been president for 3 months when the Soviets launched Yuri Gagarin into space. Project Mercury ballistic capsule. Freedom 7 capsule. Alan Shepard became the first American to fly in space. It's 9 feet 4 inches long, made by McDonnell Aircraft Corporation in St. Louis. This is a Gemini spacecraft. Frank Borman and James Lovell spent 14 days in it with the panels taken out. It looks a little roomier than it actually was. Shepard, he commanded Apollo 14 in 1971 and was the 5th human to set foot on the lunar surface. Sat in there, must have been really cramped. Mercury capsule. This is a Russian Vostok capsule. These are engines to get off from the Earth's gravity. There's another huge one there. The Columbia, the Apollo 11 command module. This is the actual module after it came back from its mission to the moon. Brought it on board the deck of the USS Hornet. That's in Alameda, California. Michael Collins wore on board the command module. He didn't have to go outside. And Buzz Aldrin were taking their steps on the moon. Michael Collins was above in the lunar orbit. He was born in 1930 in Italy, where his father was a U.S. military attaché. He attended West Point, became an Air Force fighter pilot, and later an experimental test pilot in California. Became a NASA astronaut in 1963, pilot on the Gemini 10 mission, 1966, command module pilot on Apollo 11, 1969, and director of this museum, the National Air and Space Museum, from 1971 to 1978. 11. I guess this is inside the command module. So Armstrong wore this spacesuit when he made his historic step onto the surface of the moon on July 20th, 1969. There's the flag. We left one there. The landing module was called the Eagle, and he said the Eagle has landed.